Will you help me get back to the Flix?
I guess I'm the chosen one. Now I'm ready.
As a kid, I thought The Golden Child was just Eddie Murphy being funny with some magic sprinkled in. I was just vibing with the jokes, the leather jacket, and the weird oatmeal. None of that was serious, but watching it again as an adult, the undertones of this movie are dark and twisted. We're talking child abduction, cults, human sacrifice, and a literal demon trying to end the world. And it's all wrapped up in this goofy mid-80s studio comedy package. It's almost like this movie is having an identity crisis. 1 minute, it's a straight-up thriller about a kid in some serious danger. And then the next minute, you've got Eddie Murphy still cracking jokes like he's in Beverly Hills Cop. As a grown-up, you feel the tension way more. You recognize the reality of the situation and everything that's at stake. So now, when I'm watching The Golden Child, I'm still laughing, but I'm low-key disturbed, which might be one of the reasons that this movie sticks with you even long after the credits have rolled. I'm Jay, this is Back to the Flix, and today we're going back to 1986 for Eddie Murphy's weirdest, darkest comedy, The Golden Child. Let's get back to the Flix.
Let's take a trip down memory lane. So hop in the whip, let's ride the wave. Destination set where classics were born. So kick up your feet and grab the popcorn. Blockbuster movies that swept the nation. Hit the like, subscribe, and notification.
In 1986, Eddie Murphy was becoming him. Fresh off of Beverly Hills Cop and smack dab in the middle of the 80s stardom, he drops a dark fantasy action comedy called The Golden Child, directed by Michael Ritchie, and co-starring Charlotte Lewis, Charles Dance, and JLR8 as a mysterious child with the god-tier powers. It's part mystical quest movie, part LA street detective story, and part Eddie Murphy just riffing on everybody. The story opens up in a remote temple where monks are guarding a legendary figure known as the Golden Child. This kid isn't just special, he's basically a tiny bodhisattva. He can raise the dead, including this little bird that becomes the guiding light for the main character. And it's his job to protect humanity just by existing. That peace doesn't last long when a sorcerer named Sardo Numspa storms the temple with his cult, slaughters the monks, and kidnaps the child so he can take him to a ritual to let the evil take over the world. Cut to Los Angeles, where we meet Chandler Jarrell, a social worker private detective who specializes in missing kids. Chandler isn't just some hard-boiled noir detective. He's a streetwise guy, he's got the swag, and you can tell that his heart goes out to all the missing kids.
Hey, Chandler, come on, will you, okay?
Shut up!
In this case specifically, a missing girl named Cheryl Mosley. Watching from across the world, Ki Nang, a Tibetan priestess, just recognizes Chandler as the chosen one from the ancient prophecy and tries to recruit him to find the Golden Child. When she pulls up on him with the destiny talk, Chandler treats it like a bad pickup line. He's just trying to solve his current case and maybe flirt a little bit. But things get dark fast. Cheryl's body turns up near a creepy abandoned house tagged with the Tibetan symbols. Inside, Chandler finds a pot full of blood-soaked oatmeal. This is already nightmare fuel. And it turns out that this is where the Golden Child was briefly held. The villains are trying to corrupt the boy by tricking him into eating human blood, so he becomes vulnerable. Ki takes Chandler to meet with Dr. Hong and Kala, an intense librarian oracle figure. They explain that the kidnapped child is the Golden Child, the last hope for humanity. Now Chandler's child abduction case and this cosmic prophecy have officially merged. From there, he works the case in a very LA way, tracking a biker gang called the Yellow Dragons and following leads to a Chinese restaurant tied to a henchman named Tommy Tong. And in the midst, slowly realizing that this isn't just some street level trafficking ring. In the middle of all that, Chandler gets pulled into a controlled fever dream by Sardo Numspa himself. In this surreal sequence, Numspa basically pitches him a deal. If you find the mystical Ajante dagger, I'll trade you the golden child. Chandler doesn't realize he's being played yet, because the dagger is literally the only thing that can kill the kid. Still, he agrees to the quest. The tension between the cosmic stakes and Eddie Murphy's smart mouth energy really kicks in here.
I really don't like your attitude.
You know, this is a nice jacket. It's a Morris Day feel, and it looks good on you in the boots. It's smoking.
The hunt for the dagger sends Chandler and Key to Tibet, where the movie leans into full mystical adventure. Chandler gets hustled for $100 by an old amulet vendor, giving him a junk amulet instead of the one he wanted. They make their way to a Tibetan temple to speak with the high priest, who turns out to be the same hustling amulet dealer and also Key's father. He was testing whether or not the loudmouth American was really the prophesized chosen one. To earn the Ajante dagger, Chandler has to cross an insane underground cavern while carrying a glass of water without spilling a single drop. This trial is a mix of suspense, slapstick, and the elements of the supernatural. Bottomless pits with shifting platforms, and Chandler talking trash the whole way through. Against all odds, he pulls it off and wins the dagger, proving he might actually be more than just a fast-talking social worker. Now back in LA, Chandler and Key get placed in a safe house with the dagger, but of course the villains roll up immediately. Numspa's crew attack the villa. The Ajante dagger gets knocked loose and ends up in enemy hands, and in all of the chaos, Key takes a crossbow bolt to the back, saving Chandler in the process. She dies in his arms, confessing her love for him, and the playful flirtation from earlier suddenly hits with real weight. Was there ever a point in the movie that ticked you off as a kid? Well, this is one of those moments right here for me. It's like you did backflips directly past the person with the crossbow. Instead of doing that, why don't you just hit him over the head with something? This part used to irk me as a kid so bad. If there was ever a movie where one of the main characters did something that was unexplainable, way beyond the bounds of reason, where they could have sidestepped something that was so avoidable, go ahead and put that movie in the comments. However, this is one of the moments where the movie completely drops the comedy and allows the romance and the fantasy stakes to take hold for a moment. Dr. Hong and Kala give Chandler one thin line of hope. As long as the sunlight still touches Key's body, the golden child might be able to bring her back. With the clock literally ticking towards sundown, Chandler finally drops the jokes and goes into full Chosen One mode. With the help from the child's little resurrected bird and a henchman named Till who's been spiritually flipped to the good side, Chandler tracks down Numspa's hideout and frees the golden child. Just when he thinks it's time to put an end to Numspa, he reveals his true form, trading in his human disguise for a grotesque winged demon. This is where the Phil Tippett style effects and 80s creature work show up. A big rubbery stop motion demon, early CGI assets, and all of that. Not 100% practical effects, but I'm here for it. Chandler grabs the kid and splits. He leads the demon on a car chase as it tears his getaway vehicle into shreds. He manages to escape into the belly of an abandoned service tunnel. After a beat spat, the confrontation seems to come to an end as the demon brings the building down on itself. They make their way back to Key, laying motionless on the table and the sunlight barely touching her toes. The demon Numspa crashes in for one last attack, his body mangled and broken. He takes the dagger and swipes at our hero, but Chandler is protected by that cheap amulet he bought in Tibet. Turns out it was some sort of divine armor. The amulet knocks the dagger loose, the golden child telekinetically helps Chandler recover it, and Chandler finally drives the Ajante dagger straight into Numspa, destroying both the demon and his scheme. With literally the last rays of sunlight hitting Key's foot, the golden child uses his powers to resurrect her. In the final scene, we see Chandler, Key, and the kid wandering off together, talking about sending the kid back to Tibet and maybe even turning him into a stage act, still blending the sacred and the serious with a little sprinkle of comedy. And that's the golden child. From a breakdown perspective, this is a strange tonal cocktail. Structurally, it's almost a classic hero's journey. A reluctant chosen one, a mystical guide, a trial by fire in a far-off land, magical weapon, sacrifice, final confrontation, and resurrection. But layered on top of all of that is Eddie Murphy's 80s persona. Riff heavy, irreverent, and constantly undercutting authority as it usually did. But I think this clash is kind of the point. Chandler is the kind of guy who mocks destiny until it knocks him on his backside. That East versus West tension is what makes movies like this and Big Trouble in Little China stand out. John Carpenter was even approached to do this movie, but he chose to do Big Trouble instead. And if you know like I know, you've seen a lot of familiar faces in this movie as with that one. Reflecting on my childhood memories of this movie, the blood oatmeal, the weird naked dragon lady behind the curtain, and of course the dancing Pepsi can. All that is what makes The Golden Child a fun revisit for the Flix fam. If you want to watch The Golden Child now, it's currently streaming. And if you've enjoyed my retro review, go ahead and hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell. Again, my name is Jay, and let's get back to the Flix.
We're going back to the flicks, rewind and mix 80s flicks, family ties in the Netflix fix. Reliving those days with the little ones amazed in this retro way. Old classics pave the way. Back to the flicks, rewind and mix 80s flicks, family ties in the Netflix fix. Reliving those days with the little ones amazed in this retro way. Old classics pave the way.